And welcome back, students. As we continue discussing class definitions, today we're going to discuss the this parameter. So, simple cases with class parameter. Methods can, of course, have parameters of a class type. It doesn't have to be simply restricted to that of primitive types such as int or double. Parameters of a class types are a bit more subtle and more powerful than parameters of a primitive type. Now, we're going to discuss these in more detail in the next chapter. Until then, we're going to occasionally use a class type parameter in simple situations. For these scenarios, all you need to know is that you're just plugging in the class argument for the class parameter. We're not asking you to construct your own or anything like that. We're simply just asking you to do it. So, with that being said, let's get into that of this parameter. As noted previously, if today is of type second day, then today.write output is equivalent to system.println today.month plus today.day plus today.year. This is because our method definition of write output reads public void write output system.println today.month plus today.day plus today.year, which is the same as saying system.println calling object.month plus calling object.day plus calling object.year. Now, the instance variables on the previous slide are understood to have calling object in front of them. Now, sometimes it's handy or in rare occasions necessary to have an explicit name for the calling object. So inside of a Java method definition, you can the keyword this as a name for a calling object. So you can use the following as an equivalent statement. Public void output system.println this.month, this.day, and this.year. The keyword this is another parameter, but kind of a hidden one. It does not appear on the method or the parameter list of a method, but it is still a parameter. When a method is invoked, the calling object is automatically plugged in for this. Now, there's one common situation that requires the usage of the this parameter. You often want to have the parameters in a method such as setDate be the same as the instance variables. So here's an incorrect attempt at rewriting the setDate method. All right, remember, this is wrong. Public void setDate int month, int day, int year, month equals month string month, day equals day, year equals year. All right, remember, this is the wrong way to do it. He's like, hey, I don't want to have it called new month, new date, new year. Now, me personally, I don't use this approach because I just use it as a local variable, so I just call it something different. But you can technically do it this way, but you have to modify this code a little bit in order for it to be correct. Otherwise, it's not going to use the right versions. So the rewritten version of that code is not going to do what we want. When we declare a local variable in the method definition, and then within the method definition, that name will refer to the local variable. So a parameter is a local variable, and so this rule applies to parameters. So consider the following statement. Remember, we had several that were wrong. So day equals day. Both identifiers in this case are going to refer to the parameter day. It does not refer to the instance variable day, so the one that's up at the top of our program. Now, all occurrences of the identifier day refer to the parameter day. This is often described as saying that the parameter day masks or hides the instance variable day. Similar remarks, of course, can be made to month and year. Now, if we further examine our rewritten method of setDate, we will produce a compiler error message because the following attempts to assign a string value to the int value of month. Month equals month string month. Now, note in some scenarios this will produce a method definition that will compile but won't perform correctly. But in our case, it's going to give us a compiler error. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite that method that we just looked at, but using this. So to correctly rewrite the method setDate, we need a way to tell the compiler to use the instance variable month instead of the the parameter variable month. So the way to do this is to fix this in front of the variables as shown below. Public void setDate int month and day and year. All right, remember this was not correct, but we're going to change this to become correct, so you can cross that off now. And we have this.month equals month string month, this.day equals day, this.year equals year. So again, this you can cross out that comment now because now with adding this in front of these, this is now correct because this will now refer to this right here refers then to this month up in the program. All right, up in the instance variables that's outside here. This dot day gets set to here. So this dot month equals now this variable being passed in for here. This dot day versus day, getting this variable right here. And this data here refers to your instance variable here, getting this parameter 1 right here. Now this is going to produce equivalent code to pretty much what we saw in our day 3rd try class. All right, and with that being said, folks, that wraps up this lesson. You're welcome. You're going to use some work with this. When you actually get into constructing more of your own methods, though, it's up to you whether or not you want to use this. It's simply if you decide I want to name things the same way, you don't have to use this in your programs. Only if you're dictated should you use it. If you want to use it, great. If you don't want to use it, like I avoid using it just because I just call my parameters a different variable name. That's perfectly acceptable as well. So with that being said, I will see you next time.